Yeah.
Okay, what's up, everybody? This is JD Curry with the Pioneer Podcast on the WETD 90.7 FM, the Leap College radio station. Today, my guest is from the Alfred State rock band, specifically Carmine. The rock band took part in the Alfred's Got Talent show for the spring of 2020. I wasn't there, so we are going to start the show with me finding out and talking about the show, but I'm sure that your club had a great show. The rock band is one of my favorite parts of the talent shows.
Oh yeah, it's really fun to do it. Uh, this year this talent show we actually were able to win a prize this time. So we got the second runner up, which is just third place.
Not the best, not the crowd favorite though.
They didn't have that this year. It's yeah, I don't know. I think it's like different every semester I've ever done it. This is probably, let's see, one, two, three. This is my fourth talent show that I've done with rock band. But it's the second one I've done as the director. And yeah, we let's see, my first semester. So this was spring of 2018. We did win. Then fall of 2018, they won something but not money. Then the spring of 2019, no prize that time. Last semester, no prize, unfortunately, even though I thought we put on a pretty good show for that one especially. And then this one we did win, so pretty happy about the result. And yeah, we've really been growing over the past couple of years, and the talent show is one of the kind of like it's like really fun to do because Sound on Sound is the stage crew company that comes on, and we get to
from off campus probably.
Oh yeah, I think they're like from, I don't know if it's Ithaca. They're New York based, but yeah, it's really cool because they have like basically like professional stage equipment, and we actually get to be all mic'd up and everything, and it just sounds like really good. And they got a whole like lighting rig in the back. It's really cool. It's really cool.
So it sounds like a big party.
Yeah, I mean it's definitely probably more nerve wracking doing stuff like that. Um, but yeah, I mean it's just fun to play, especially in front of like just a lot of people, and you want to put on a good show. So
Okay, so other than the winning second place, how did your club do Saturday?
um, well, so that was third place, but it was second runner up.
Okay,
Yeah, well actually before we did our mic check, everyone was kind of it was a bit of a rough weekend for me personally, but yeah, when we went through practice, there was a couple parts I was forgetting, and then when we got on stage, I kept forgetting a few parts, and everyone was just, I guess, just a little nervous. But once we did, right before we went on, because we were first, I was listening to the song over and over again. We did "Wanna Dead or Alive" by Bon Jovi.
Oh, that's definitely a great song.
Oh yeah, it sounded really good too. Yeah, I listened to it over and over again, and yeah, we did really great with that song. It sounded really good.
So what is it like to open up in front of that large audience, because it's one of the biggest shows we do here?
Oh yeah. Okay, so the fall semester, that's usually like the biggest crowd because that's like homecoming and everything.
A lot of freshmen.
Oh yeah. Even the bonfire, we played that this year. So that was like towards the end of the night. There was a lot of people there, and then the talent show, that I mean, like, it's always like being the first act like right away. I think it's cool, but we mainly did it for logistic reasons because we have so much equipment we have to move. It's crazy, but yeah, it's definitely being the opener. Well, I think in some ways it's good, some ways it's bad, or not. Or I guess there's like pros and cons. Like opening, you worry about like making a great first impression, but the thing is you don't also have to worry about like stepping up to another act. You can just do your thing and worry about just you,
Yeah.
and then watch the rest of the talent show and kind of compare how you did.
A lot of times with that, it's probably building up the emotion, getting people ready for the night, like everything that's to come.
Yeah. I mean, obviously, like the goal, is to win, but like the more important goal for me is to make sure that we put on a good performance and that we kind of take it as an opportunity to, really put on just put on our best performance, while feeling kind of like some expectation and pressure. Some of our other events doesn't have quite that feel, but there's always that sense that it's always like show what you got, especially when you have like just a short window to do it.
Yeah. So, how does the club go about choosing the song that you do for these large shows?
Yeah. So what we do at the beginning of each semester, well, let's go back to the fall because that's when like we have more freshmen come in and people have to get acclimated. I have to create groups because we have like 3 different groups. What I try to do is, when I was a freshman, our director, his name is Anthony. He actually used to work. He used to be a part of the e-board for the radio station here. He, since I was a senior, I can understand like why he did this, but he kind of made some people do a few songs, like quite a few Metallica songs that some of our singers like. Well, it wasn't like too high, but they were just kind of weird. Anyways, I definitely try to be fair in the song selection process. It's very like democratic. I take suggestions. At least try to get everyone to throw in some suggestions, and then I listen to them personally, and then kind of see which ones like. Just the first practice is like, oh, what can we do, and then we kind of play through them. We don't get through much, and then as the semester goes on, we keep kind of seeing how things would go, and there might be some songs where we even have like, oh, we really want to do this, like everyone's really on board of doing this. And last fall again we did The Spirit of Radio and Free Will by Rush, and they're both on the same album, so it's like, oh, why don't we do these back to back? And we did that with one group, and that sounded really good. And then when it goes into like the spring semester, we always look back on songs we did in the past, like the past semester, because sometimes it's like easier to take some songs from last semester and then kind of just go along with it.
So how big is the club? How many people are in it?
Yeah, so right now we're actually technically not a club. We are part of instrumental music. Instrumental music is one of the performing art clubs on campus, and there's quite a few performing arts clubs. There's drum club, Clarinet, voices, jesters, and then instrumental is part of that. But we're actually going to become a club next semester. So I think right now we have probably 13 or 14 active members as part of rock band, but there's way more in instrumental. It's kind of funny. Like rock band had a pretty good like rise throughout the past few years, and at one point instrumental music was not at a good place, and with the success that we've had, it helped keep that sustained while they can build up, and now they've gotten to a point where they're at a decent size, and I think they do have more members. I'm part of it as well. It's really cool to be a part of, and I'm actually excited about becoming a club now, and we'll still be a part of the whole performing arts umbrella, and we're actually going to get a suite, which is I think right next to Tyler Ribble's office.
Was that the winner of the leadership suite, or did you just work at a deal?
They asked the performing arts clubs to, so basically the director of the performing arts kind of conglomerate, and he's also kind of the advisor. There's different advisors for the clubs, but his name's Jerry Ives. He sits in his office in Orvis. It's right across from the weight room. Okay. He and Troy Morehouse they kind of set the whole thing up, and now Troy is gone. So obviously, whoever's going to step into that role will still be working with performing arts, and so they had a whole system in place, and well, what's the best way to explain this? Like the performing arts, it's not a club, but we are really setting up a thing on Pioneer Link so that we can be kind of all under it. And then, well, we used to have a suite before, but there's some issues trying to get it for this year. And then they talked to performing arts, and again, when I say that, that's just everyone in general, mostly probably the presidents because they're the ones to contact best.
Yeah.
And they're like, hey, we need someone to fill a suite, and then I don't know what the exact situation was, what that was for, but they asked they asked us, if we would want to get a suite again this year or this semester, and everyone was on board with it because we didn't want to get rid of it before, but there were just some issues that didn't make it come to fruition. So we'll be getting the suite back, and that's a good thing because last year we won. I think it was, I don't remember the exact title, but it was like Best Suite Organization of the Year for the Stewies or Student Engagement Awards. I think, yeah, that's really cool. And yeah, we're excited to do more stuff with SLC because again, like we got more attention with the suite than when we didn't, and that really helped. And so yeah.
Well, there's a lot more foot traffic in this area, so
Oh, yeah.
more people come through.
I mean, unless you're in Mackenzie, but that's like the only dorm complex that's like kind of away from SLC. But yeah, that even gives me a reason to come back.
Of campus.
What was that?
I said it's on the opposite side of campus.
Oh yeah, I know. But well, when I used to live in Maingate, you have to walk through here and you see all this stuff going on.
Mm.
Yeah, this will give me a reason to come back to SLC more often because, we'll be going in and out of the suite and stuff like that, and we'll probably be doing more like SLC events, hopefully. I know everyone's probably got some ideas on their head, and I could think of some that we could do, just combining with other clubs as well, and that's something that's exciting for the future.
Okay, let's get back to talking about Alfred's Got Talent.
All right, cool.
What was your favorite part of the show other than your performance?
Yeah, so there were a lot of singers, and I knew a lot of them because they're all from drama club or voices. Most of them actually from the musical "All Shook Up" that we did last semester.
Yeah, last semester, fall semester.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I guess my favorite act. That's a tough one. Some of the dance ones are pretty cool because I think there were more dancing ones this semester.
Sergio did a dance, right?
Oh yeah, Sergio. Well, he always dances because he's a very athletic and very majestic dancer.
He's a pretty good dancer.
Yeah, and he was I think he helped with some coordination for the dance choreography.
He's the president of the dance club, and he's part of cheerleading. That guy does all kinds of performing arts.
Oh yeah, but he does a lot of the physical attributes. Yeah, I mean his was really good. Actually, I think probably the best like singing performances, the best singing performance was definitely Jasmine LaRocca. She did I think the musical was, I can't remember, but it was from a musical, and I thought, she has an amazing voice. She's like basically close to a Broadway performer that you can get on a campus like this. Yeah, and I didn't agree with one of the judges' critiques of her because I thought she was probably she was the most talented singer. Regardless, and I know a lot of people that were kind of mad, but we won't get into any drama like that. So
yeah, not here.
Yeah, she was really good.
Do you have any more that you would like to talk about the talent show?
Not too much about the talent show. We do that, or I definitely try to do that every semester. I'm glad we won. But actually, if it's alright, I wanted to talk about a couple events that we'll have coming up this semester.
I've got some questions to ask about the actual band now.
Okay, yeah, we can get into that.
So, when was the club first officially? Well, when did the rock band come to be? Even though it's part of instrumental club.
All right, so we'll go back. There's kind of a couple iterations that kind of happened. At first, it was our director and advisor Jerry. Well, he's the director of the concert band, but he's more of an advisor for like us because like I'm like the director for that part of it. Like it's mostly student directed, but yeah, he's obviously very helpful for stuff like that. And what he told me originally is that he wanted to start kind of like a rock band, and this is going back a pretty long time ago, maybe like 10 years. There was a guy around 2014 that was kind of doing that. He unfortunately passed away, not like during when he was going to school, but his name was Jeff Wilson, I believe. And I know furthest back of like this iteration of rock band I could think of is around 2013, 2014. Rob Privitera, who's actually an RD now on campus, he was asked by the president of Instrumental back then, or he was part of Instrumental, but he's like, or Sam Orlando, who was the president of Instrumental back in 2013, like, hey, you want to do the rock band? Like, you could just lead that. And it kind of just started off small, like just kind of like a jam thing. We never really were serious about events. And then some of the more familiar faces started to come in, like Anthony Halasian, who eventually became director. And there was also Anthony Reforgiato. We refer to them as the two Anthonys because they were pretty inseparable when they were in rock band. I think Reforgiato, he was a drummer, and I think he did like either his first or second year he did rock band, and then kind of dropped out because they didn't really have like a good leader. And Anthony Halasian came in, and he sort of slowly started to take over, and eventually became more organized. And the year before my freshman year, I guess it was probably like they were doing events and stuff. That my freshman year was the one that it really just took off. We did the Hot Dog Day opener. That was like really fun. We started doing the talent show like as a permanent thing. That was like the birth of Rockfest. Started out with Rock Band and WTT doing the event together. And actually for the spring 2018 semester, Instrumental had not like a collapse, but just kind of some issues with some leadership, and Anthony took over as like interim president, and we were able to get a concert going, and we were able to keep it alive. And if it wasn't for him, then I don't know what the state would be right now. But yeah, ever since then we just kept growing. And last year Pat McFadden was the director. He helped us become like really organized, like just in terms of like communication and emails and stuff like that. And he just put in a good system to kind of take over for anyone that would be taking over, like me, set up. And yeah, now I'm just kind of like doing the same, like we keep doing Rockfest because that's something we always like to do. We get asked to do things by other clubs, like either student engagement or APB, just to kind of name a few. And that's kind of nice. And our interest at this point is like the interest level is pretty high. Like I had people coming to me like, hey, what's rock band like, and stuff like that, And it's kind of cool to see because at one point it was like we're still trying to get our name out there. I definitely think when we did the Hot Dog Day concert 2 years ago, that was something that really put us on the map because a lot of people go to that show. That was opening for Mayday Parade.
There's both campuses too.
Oh yeah, that's another thing too is doing the actual hot dog day weekend. You know, we do the bandstand, and that's fun because we just get to play, you know, on this campus and AU, and I think AU is probably the best setup, but it was really cold that time. But yeah, yeah. I mean, we really just over the past 3 years, we've really grown a lot, and like from our membership to our interest and kind of enticement level, I guess. And like I said, now we're gonna become our own club next year. I mean, everyone's on board with it, and you know, we're gonna do the whole process. And yeah, I've drafted up a constitution, and I'm actually gonna discuss it with our president of instrumental music, because we're kind of branching off from them. And yeah, we'll kind of just be like more independent and just, you know, keep growing. I mean, technically we'll have 4 groups at that point, because there's another group from one of our rock members that he started kind of last year, and they kind of do more of the frat house events, like the small, like, you know, house party stuff.
Okay, yeah.
I don't really know how well that, or how that's gonna work with if it's, as long as it's like a school sponsored event, like obviously like a Greek organization event or Greek life event, then I think, like, you know, they could do stuff like that, because, you know, we got to be careful, like, you know, if it's parties and you know, any riffraff that goes on. But I'm excited for the big step that we'll be taking next year. And
So,
yeah,
you've named a lot of people.
Yeah.
Was there anyone who influenced you in a positive way to get involved with a rock band?
Oh yeah, definitely. Brian Kelly. I'm a computer engineer, and he is. I don't remember what his major was, but he was in IT, and we did. IT always likes to host like a couple events, you know.
Like Game Jam and all
Yeah,
that
yeah.
stuff?
I did Game Jam my first semester, and that's where I met like Brian, Maria Frischella, who is still in Rock Band actually, and she sings, and that's how. And then a couple other people that, you know, are from IT, and yeah, because I wanted to. I mean, I always wanted to try out Rock Band, like as soon as I heard about it. Spencer Moiser was actually a orientation leader before I got on campus, and he actually mentioned Rock Band, so I'm like, oh, that's cool. And then yeah, just working with Anthony Halasian, really just kind of, it was like really cool, because it was the first time I got to be a part of a band, and it was like just a lot of fun playing, and we just do so many cool events. And that even inspired me to get my own band, so I got a band back home in Hamburg, which is, you know, around Buffalo, and it's just me, my brother, and my drummer. Yeah, my brother actually goes to Fredonia for classical guitar, so that was one big inspiration for him. Yeah.
So what skills would you say that people learn from being involved with this club?
I think in Rock Band you kind of learn about definitely organization, preparation, like I guess overall leadership skills, honestly, because especially now that we're becoming a club, like that's one of the goals with like an e-board, is having people to have a set of responsibilities that they can follow closely.
Yeah.
And then like just having the meeting times, like everyone's like really good about, you know, meeting at times that I set out, and everyone's really good about just like, well, from what I took from previous directors, is the way we go about our rehearsals, like, right, so we'll do like talk about a few things, then we'll go into songs, and we have a good process of like, you know, memorize, because we have to memorize songs.
Yeah.
And with rock songs, it's not that hard. Like if it was like, you know, musical would be more hard, because, or even like any other form of music, it'd be hard to memorize all that. It can be done, but it makes it a lot easier, like with rock music. And yeah, music as a whole, and just playing an instrument also has been, you know, shown to help with like brain function and increase like your overall brain capacity. That's something I'm always like an advocate of. And yeah, there's no negative you can get out of being in a music organization, being in some sort of musical group, whether it is a rock band or a jazz band or a wind ensemble. And yeah, also just kind of the exposure you get to some of the other clubs and organizations on campus, because we again work with other people as well.
Yeah, collaborations.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and you kind of get to see sort of the kind of faculty side of the school as well, because like again, I've said like I've definitely worked with Troy Morehouse in the past, quite a few times, and I've just talked with him about what we can do with Rock Band and stuff. And he was actually the one that talked about Rock Band becoming a separate club with Jerry, and they mentioned it to me, and I just mentioned it to my members, and everyone's on board with that. So, and it kind of helps the individual, like doing something like that looks good in your resume, because they'll see like just doing all these kind of events on campus and the interpersonal relationships that you get with that.
So, other than the talent show, what other events do you plan to do?
Yes. So, this semester, we're going to do Rock Fest again. That's going to be March 27th. I don't have a time exactly yet, but we're going to most likely start at 6 p.m. And we're going to have 5 different groups playing. We're having a former rock band member, Patrick McFadden. He has his band coming in. We have 3 rock band groups, and then my band will also be playing at that. And then the next event that I've actually been taking a lot of time to plan over the past year and a half, we're doing a Pink Floyd Dark Side of the Moon tribute event, which will be April 24th at 7 p.m. And yeah, we're basically just gonna play through most of the Dark Side of the Moon album, because like Pink Floyd is one of the most popular rock bands ever, and they're one of the most inspirational groups as well. Like not only like socially, but musically, because they incorporated a few different elements that like isn't just like typical like rock song. And their music is very unique in my opinion, and a lot of people love Pink Floyd, like especially this generation. Like everyone on campus, you could probably find like someone who is definitely a Pink Floyd fan. You find a lot of people like that, just because of how the music just kind of vibes with people. It's really cool, because that's like Dark Side of the Moon is from like 73. So that's like our parents' generation, not even maybe even like grandparents' generation. And even the logo or the album cover for Dark Side is, there's a lot of people who wear the shirts with the prism, and they don't even realize that it's like a band. It's just like so universally accepted as a part of pop culture.
Well, I've heard the name and I've seen the symbol, but I didn't know anything about Pink Floyd.
Oh yeah, I mean that's just how a lot of people are. And that's okay. That's good marketing, for Pink Floyd, because that album boosted them way up the charts. I mean, they were having success before that, but that's the one that really pushed them into the mainstream.
So, where would a new person get involved with a rock band?
If you want to get involved with Rock Band, you could just contact me. Email or phone is, well, probably just email, my Alfred State email, which is ferricv@alfredstate.edu. And you could also come to events and just talk to me or anyone afterwards, any of the members. And like, well, at some point, like, we'll be getting too late into the semester where we can't just have someone join right away. But like at the beginning of the semester, like, hit me up. That's like the best way to get involved. And you don't even necessarily have to play an instrument, but one of our goals is just kind of, if you want to get into a band or even just learn an instrument, you can do that. We'll have people that can teach you. We have some pretty talented musicians. and there's a lot of stuff that goes on outside of just like playing, because we have to do setup. We could teach like people about audio equipment, because we have our own. Now it's not like too fancy, but we have some like PA equipment that we use for our shows. A lot of it's Harbinger, but yeah. So there's a lot to really know about that, and if you want to just kind of be like a stage manager, we'd I mean, I've learned a lot from like our previous director, Pat. He knows a lot about that stuff, and he kind of taught me how this all works, and like what kind of speakers to use for certain events, and yeah, it's really cool. But yeah, I mean, we'll do we'll find whatever fits kind of your interest. But yeah, so.
Okay, well, good luck setting up this as an actual club now, a separate club.
Thank you.
Look forward to seeing the rest of your shows, because they're always a great show.
Oh yeah, well, we try our best. Yeah, honestly, really the members, like outside of me, all of our members are the reason why Rock Band happens, because we have a lot of people that are talented and spend a lot of time while having to still go to school and keep their grades up. So that's one thing that's important. You gotta keep your grades up if you want to be a part of a club. And yeah, that's just something I really take at face value, because without the individual members, we're not a thing. Especially when we have multiple groups. That's like, because I can't do everything. And I'm like really happy to say that there's a lot of people that even like carry me sometimes. Yeah, and it's cool because we get to do like all sorts of stuff. We don't even do just like purely rock music. We even do like some pop or metal, punk rock. We'll do whatever, as long as we can have the right instrumentation for it.
Well, thanks for coming down to the station.
Yeah, thank you for having me. This was very fun to do. It's my first time I've been on live air, so.
Glad you got that experience. That's what all this is about.
Yeah, this is a cool setup. I've actually never been here before.
Well, thank you.
But yeah.
Hopefully.
Yeah. Oh, what were you gonna say?
I was gonna wrap it up.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
So, anything else you want to talk about?
No, just catch us for Rockfest and Pink Floyd tribute. Rockfest is March 27th at 6 p.m. and Pink Floyd is April 24th, which is the day before Hot Dog Day, 7 p.m. And we'll probably go for like an hour and a half, something like that.
It's probably gonna be on Cork, right? Cork and
Pioneer. Oh yeah,
Link.
yeah. We have everything. We always put our events at Pioneer Link. Like I already have all the reservations booked. That's all. Yeah, that's one thing. Like that's kind of neat about like Rock Band as well, is like you get to learn about like kind of managing stuff. And I definitely learned a lot over the past year. But yeah, check out our events. Rockfest will be going pretty long. We'll have food. We'll have drinks. We'll have some great bands. But yeah. Thank you again for having me. It's been fun.
Yep, thanks for coming down to the station.
Yep, thank you.
Okay, hopefully some people have learned some interesting new aspects of the Rock Band. This is all for this episode of the Pioneer Podcast. Don't forget there will be a video on YouTube at the Pioneer Podcast /radio show if you missed this live episode. For Friday there may be another show, but it will be pre-recorded because I will be on the way to Buffalo because of a collaboration between the Alfred State Paranormal Investigation and Urban Exploration Club and the Madai Paranormal Club. Take care and talk to you soon, Pioneers.